Do not ignore these 8 signs of mini strokes. Recognize them before it's too late. Do not ignore these 8 warning signs of mini strokes in the elderly. Understanding them could save your life. Did you know that 1 in 3 people who experience a mini stroke will later suffer a major stroke? Even more alarming, up to 80% of strokes are preventable if the warning signs are caught early. Every year, more than 240,000 Americans experience a mini stroke, often without realizing it. These are not just minor events. They are urgent neurological warnings that demand attention. Today, we're breaking down the 8 critical signs of mini strokes you must know. Recognizing them quickly could be the difference between life and death. With stroke being the 5th leading cause of death in the United States, understanding these signs is not just helpful, it's essential. 1. Difficulty speaking or slurred speech. One of the earliest and most noticeable signs of a mini stroke is sudden speech difficulty. This can range from slurred or jumbled words to the inability to express thoughts clearly. You might know exactly what you want to say, but the words just won't come out correctly. This condition is called aphasia, and it affects your ability to speak, read, write, or understand language. It happens when blood flow to the brain's language centers, such as Broca's and Wernicke's areas, is interrupted. Some people experience receptive aphasia, where they hear others speaking clearly but can't process the meaning of the words. What makes this symptom especially concerning is its sudden onset, appearing quickly and often resolving just as fast. But even if it lasts only a few minutes, it's a red flag and should never be ignored. 2. Sudden confusion. Mini strokes can cause sudden mental confusion that feels like a heavy fog descending out of nowhere. This isn't the usual forgetfulness associated with aging. It's a dramatic, abrupt shift in mental clarity. Tasks like making coffee or dialing a phone number may become confusing. You might forget your own address or be unable to follow simple instructions. The affected brain areas, particularly the frontal and temporal lobes, lose access to oxygen, disrupting your ability to process information or make decisions. What separates this from dementia is how fast it appears. Dementia develops gradually. A TIA causes confusion suddenly, and that's exactly why it's dangerous. It may impair your problem-solving ability or cause disorientation even in familiar environments. Sadly, this symptom is often dismissed as fatigue or stress, but it's one of the key signs of a mini stroke and requires immediate medical attention. 3. Sudden weakness or numbness, usually one-sided. Sudden weakness or numbness, especially on one side of the body, is one of the most classic and telling signs of a mini stroke. Medical professionals refer to this as hemiparesis, partial weakness, or hemiplegia, complete paralysis. This happens when blood flow to the motor cortex, the brain region that controls muscle movement, is temporarily disrupted. You may notice that your face, arm, or leg feels heavy or unresponsive, as if it has fallen asleep for no reason. A common test is to try smiling in the mirror. If one side of your mouth droops, it may be a warning sign. Or raise both arms. If one drifts down or feels weaker, that's another red flag. Some individuals experience a complete loss of feeling. Others describe a strange mix of numbness and weakness. The key is that this symptom usually affects only one side, which helps distinguish it from other conditions like general fatigue or overexertion. Even if the weakness disappears quickly, it signals a high risk of a future stroke. For dizziness or loss of balance. Dizziness during a TI is not like typical vertigo or being lightheaded. It's usually caused by impaired blood flow to the cerebellum or brainstem, parts of the brain that control balance and coordination. This type of dizziness is part of what doctors call acute vestibular syndrome. It might feel like you're on a spinning carousel, or as if you're being pulled to one side. In some cases, you may experience gait ataxia, a staggering walk pattern that resembles being intoxicated. This symptom can be especially dangerous in older adults due to the increased risk of falls. Unlike benign vertigo, this dizziness does not improve when lying down or resting, and is often accompanied by other neurological symptoms. If you suddenly feel as if the room is spinning or you're being dragged sideways, seek medical attention immediately. 5. Temporary vision changes. Vision disturbances are another key indicator of a mini stroke. One of the most well-known is amaurosis fugax, a temporary loss of vision in one eye, often described as a dark curtain falling over your vision. This occurs when blood flow to the retina or visual cortex is briefly blocked. Other visual symptoms include double vision, diplopia, bright flashing lights, scintillating scotoma, partial vision loss on one side, homonymous hemianopia. These issues stem from oxygen deprivation in the occipital lobe, the brain's visual processing center. Unlike eye strain or migraines, TI-related vision problems often affect only one eye or one side of your visual field and appear suddenly. 6. Severe headaches. While not always present, when a headache does accompany a mini stroke, it's often described as a thunderclap headache, an intense, explosive pain that peaks within seconds. These headaches occur due to rapid changes in blood pressure and blood flow in the brain's vessels, creating vascular stress. Doctors refer to this as a sentinel headache, a warning that something is dangerously wrong. This type of headache may also be associated with light sensitivity, photophobia, or sound sensitivity, phonophobia, and often appears with other stroke symptoms like dizziness or speech difficulties. 7. Tingling sensations. That familiar pins and needles feeling, known medically as paresthesia, can also be a warning sign of a mini stroke. However, this tingling is different from what you feel after sleeping on your arm. TI-related tingling results from disrupted blood flow to the somatosensory cortex, the brain's touch processing center. It typically affects one side of the body and may move in a wave-like pattern, such as starting in the fingertips and spreading up the arm. Unlike tingling from a pinched nerve, this doesn't improve with movement or repositioning, and may be accompanied by altered temperature sensations. 8. Brief loss of consciousness. In rare cases, a mini stroke can cause a temporary loss of consciousness, known as a presyncopal episode or transient global amnesia. This occurs when blood flow to the reticular activating system, the part of the brain responsible for alertness, is reduced. Some individuals describe this as a graying out rather than completely blacking out. It may be preceded by lightheadedness or followed by confusion. Although brief, this loss of consciousness signals a critical drop in brain oxygen and is considered a neurological emergency. Final reminder, every minute counts. Mini strokes are medical emergencies. Any of the 8 signs we've discussed should prompt immediate medical attention, even if symptoms seem to improve on their own. Do not wait. A mini stroke is a clear warning that a major stroke could follow. Acting quickly could save your life, or the life of someone you love. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more evidence-based health content, and share your thoughts in the comments below.